always have been a person who liked to listen to radio. At that moment, there was no TV, the albums, the records, only the LPs. And so radio was my preferred way to listen to music. There was a Radio Nacional, the national radio, that was the most musical radio at that moment. And then I remember one day I was in my mother's car and she was tuned to another station, I don't know, maybe Radio Nacional. And then I listened to A Felicidade. I didn't know that was A Felicidade. That was a song that made me call my attention. And I was very impressed to that melody, to that harmony, to that ambience, completely different from what I was used to listen to. So I got in love with that music like that, no? In the first moment I have that passion, I felt that passion that came from the radio. And then I was very interested in learning that type of music. I was beginning to play piano by ear only. And then I found out that there was a group of composers who were composing that type of music. There was Roberto Menescal, Carlos Lira, and the master Jobim, Antônio Carlos Jobim, who wrote A Felicidade and many other songs. He was the inspiration for many musicians, and step by step his music was conquering the hearts of Brazilians and the hearts of the world. And then I was 9 years old when I listened first time to A Felicidade, and then I became very interested in learning the piano. I took some classes by ear. There was a teacher that could teach by ear. He told, well, you can use that chord, and this is the melody. I have a good ear to learn the melodies. And I began to play. And at the school, I have friends that we made a band at school, a group of musicians. At 17, I became professional. And then Bossa Nova was in the air in Rio de Janeiro. There was the 60s. That decade was very important. In some way, in this album, Jobim Forever, I am trying to bring that atmosphere of Rio de Janeiro that was, in a certain way, was magic, that atmosphere. The Ipanema, the nature, there was some happiness in Rio de Janeiro that could pass to other countries, to other cultures. What was that place that had all that magic? And then on this album, I decided to make a tribute to that moment. And nothing better than choosing Antônio Carlos Jobim, the great composer of that moment, and the great composer ever, because his music is going to be here for centuries and centuries, I'm sure. Later on, I met Jobim and his family. Some of his sons, two of his sons went to study at my school in Rio, and Maria Luisa was my student, the youngest. And his grandson, who is a great professional, Daniel Jobim, was my student for a long time. And I'm very proud of having taught music to his family. And then I love very much to talk with him, to have him in the conversation. I mean, Antônio Carlos Jobim, he used to talk about the forest. He was the man of the forest. I always call him, you are the man of the forest. He used to talk about the animals. He knew everything. And he was also the man of the nature itself. He loved the nature, the oceans, the Ipanema, and all that. So it's a good memoir. It's a good recall to bring his music to this moment. I think it's a moment that we need much of that. This album, I'm using the same group as I used for recent albums, with 4 horns. I love to write for 4 horns. I have the trumpet, which is the same guy who plays flugelhorn, Gessé Sadoki. I have the alto sax, a great soloist is Danilo Sina. On the tenor sax and flute, and soprano sax as well, another great one, Marcelo Martins. And also have the trombone, is a master, Rafael Rocha. Actually, all these 4 horn instrumentalists, they are arrangers as well. Despite I have done these arrangements for this album, I had in my hands, in front of me, 4 maestros, as I had also other maestros like Lula Galvão on guitar, who play acoustic and electric guitar. What a privilege to have these guys. Jorge Elder, the upright bass player, is phenomenal. He's the preferred bassist for 10 among 10 artists in Brazil. And then we have Rafael Barata on drums. Rafael plays in many of my recent albums. He's one of my preferred musicians, and I cannot do an album without his presence. And Dada Costa on percussion. Actually, Rafael and Dada both did the percussion. They combined, do together the percussion. Was a great contribution having these guys. And as special guests, I have Paulo Braga, who played for Banda Nova, the group that accompanied Jobim for a long time. I can say, I'm sure that they played for 10 years, just before the passing of Antônio Carlos Jobim. They played for Jobim. They did the last shows of Jobim, the 10 years working with Jobim. They were very close friends as well. And another very special guest on the track A Felicidade is Zé Renato, a great vocalist. He was in my album Híbrido as well, to sing the main theme of A Felicidade. So one of my big challenges when I do a new album is to find a title for that, to find a name for that, the cover, because that's a problem. And then I asked my longtime friend Arizio Rabin, who did the arts, the graphics. He figured out that Antonio has 7 letters, Antonio, and we both are Antonio. Actually, my name was supposed to be Antonio Carlos. My mother told me, we thought about having your name Antonio Carlos, but then I would have the same name of Antonio Carlos Jobim. But then they found that Antonio Adolfo would fit good for my name. And here I am as Antonio Adolfo. And the cover is so beautiful because it has the rainbow colors with Antonio, the 7 letters in the background, and Jobim Forever. I think that's perfect title for an album with so great songs by a genius of Brazilian music, a genius of the music, and nothing better than just emphasize that his music is forever.